In Japan's Himeji Castle, tourists admire the white walls, the towers, the perfect symmetry. But few know that beneath this beauty lies one of Japan's oldest ghost stories. A legend born from fear, injustice, and the power of a woman's final scream. This is the true story behind Okiku's well. In the late 1500s, Himeji Castle was not the peaceful landmark we see today. It was a stronghold of samurai clans fighting for power. Within its walls lived servants, soldiers, and lords bound by loyalty or fear. Among them was Okiku, a young maid known for her honesty and grace. She served a lord named Aoyama Tesan, a man ambitious and ruthless. He possessed 10 golden plates, a priceless treasure symbolizing honor and authority. One night, one plate disappeared. Aoyama accused Okiku of stealing it, but many historians believe it was a trap. Aoyama desired her, and when she refused him, he saw an excuse to destroy her. He offered to forgive her if she became his lover. When she refused again, he ordered her beaten and thrown into the deep stone well inside the castle grounds. The sound of her body hitting the water echoed through the night, and then there was silence. From that night on, gods and servants began hearing something. A woman's voice coming from the well, faint and distant, counting softly. 1, 2, 3. The sound would continue, slow and rhythmic, until it reached 9. Then came a scream, sharp and filled with despair. The 10th plate, the one she was accused of stealing, was never found. The people of Himeji said her spirit was trapped, forced to relive her final moments over and over again. The sound of counting became known as Okiku's curse. It spread across Japan, and soon even samurai from distant provinces came to test their courage. One of them was Matsuda Kurando, a samurai from the Tottori domain. He volunteered to spend one night beside the well, armed only with a sword and a lantern. The night was moonless, and the castle was silent. For hours, nothing happened. Then, around midnight, he heard it. A voice, faint but clear, rising from the depths. 1, 2, 3, 9. Then the scream. It wasn't loud, but it was piercing, echoing deep inside his chest. The lantern went out by itself. He later wrote that the air turned ice cold, as if someone was standing right behind him. Terrified, Matsuda ran, breaking the samurai code of composure. When he returned home, his hair had turned white overnight. From that day on, people said even the bravest men could not last until dawn beside Okiku's well. Years later, when the hauntings continued, the Lord of Himeji summoned Buddhist monks from Enyuji Temple, a sacred site on Mount Shosha nearby. The monks arrived carrying incense, bells, and sacred sutras. For 7 nights, they circled the well, chanting prayers to free the spirit trapped inside. Each night, the voice returned weaker, fainter, but still there. On the 7th night, an elderly monk named Kaisen stood by the edge of the well. He listened as the voice whispered, 9. Before the scream came, he shouted 10 with all his strength. Legend says the well shook, a gust of wind swept through the courtyard, and the counting stopped. The monks declared that Okiku's soul had finally been released, her final number completed. From that day forward, the voice was never heard again. But locals say that when the wind passes through Himeji at night, you can still feel a soft presence, not of pain, but of peace. Some scholars believe Okiku's story is more than folklore. It symbolizes the oppression of women during Japan's feudal era, when loyalty to men often outweighed truth or justice. Okiku's endless counting became a cry for truth, a voice that refused to be silenced. Even today, she stands as a symbol of innocence wronged and the haunting price of power. Today, Himeji Castle is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Among its gardens lies a quiet stone well surrounded by iron bars and moss. Tourists visit, take photos, and some throw coins for good luck. But the locals still bow before it. For them, it's not just a well, it's a reminder that injustice never truly disappears. And sometimes, truth whispers from the shadows, waiting for someone to count to 10. Okiku's well is not just a ghost story. It's a legend of injustice, courage, and redemption. And if you stand near the well on a quiet night, listen carefully. You might still hear her voice, softly counting in the wind.